So this authentic traditional recipe that we're bringing to you today, we're going to be cooking from Molokhia leaves. Some people call it jute leaves or jute plants. That's the Molokhia leaf that we're going to be using. We don't have fresh ones, so we're going to be working from the frozen one. We're going to be then cooking stew the authentic way as well. We're going to use some goat meat to cook the stew. This is our goat meat here, so we're going to cut it up. We're using also pressure cooker for this as well. So now the meat, that's the goat meat we're going to be using for this cooking. It's all seasoned and it's ready to go. So we're also going to start that off with the pressure cooker just to make it faster. You know, you can use any kind of meat that you want for this cooking. You can use fish, you can use cow meat, you can use chicken, you can use whatever you want. And if you're a vegetarian, this cooking already is healthy for actually vegetarians as well. But we decided to use goat meat for this cooking. So this is just our own choice. Yes. So it's all seasoned out. We just like to add some onions in it. So what we're gonna do next, we are going to prep our, some people call it red stew. We can just call it stew, but tomato stew, some people also call it. The main ingredients are tomatoes, your red peppers, your onions. You can use yellow onions, you can use white onions. For this show, we're using the red onions. That's my favorite, and I think that's Chinwe's favorite as well. And if you like some spices, spice is good. Very good for you. We have our favorite habanero peppers, and you can add this to taste. Usually, for my measurements, from what I learned, to about 12 sizable pieces of tomatoes, I use about 3 bell peppers. And you can use the same ratio of bell peppers for your habanero peppers if you're the spicy eater. Otherwise, we can just keep it to minimal, to 1 or 2. As the icing on the cake, we like to add our tomato paste. Yeah, add the thickens it. Yes. It a little bit more thick. Yes, it keeps it thicker in case your sauce is tending to be too liquidy. People like they call it the Buka, the authentic restaurant flavor for this sauce, and they call it the Buka style sauce. It goes very well with the bakery and the Ewedu. And we haven't told you the big name that they call this combination of authentic food with these 3 healthy soups together. And that name, I'm gonna test you. Do you remember that name? That Yoruba name for the combination of Ewedu and bakery and the red stew. That's a test for you, my friend. Oh my gosh, I failed. I actually totally failed it. So the name for that is Abula. Yes, Abula. Oh, now you remember. Yes, Abula, yes. Abula. Yes, yes. A-B-U-L-A. Yes. When you say that, you can find some well-dressed, well-suited up professional men and women who go to these authentic restaurants in the corners, little corners of Ibadan City, wanting the Abula. I tell you, it's one of a kind. Yes, and it's healthy. You know, yes. For me, the reason for this is the healthy part of it. When it's healthy, and it's good for your body, your gut, and everything. And it's tasty. I am big on taste. Yes. So 12 tomatoes to about 3 bell peppers. I think my friend probably wants to use a little more than 3, and that's all right. No, we can use peppers. You don't have to finish it. Okay. Let's use whatever you want. And if you're an onion person, an onion chef, you can throw in as many as you want. I personally, to this ratio, I like to put 2 or 3. So we're gonna put all that together in the pot with our habanero peppers for flavor and taste, and it's also full of vitamins. Yes. And we're gonna have our bubbling red stew, inside which we're gonna be cooking our protein, our meat. Okay, so now we have the goat meat is cooking. So now we want to start cooking the tomato. We have blended the tomato, onions, and some spice, the habanero,
and the red peppers.
Yes. So now it's all blended. You can chop yours if you want, but we just wanted to make it faster, and so it's ready to go. We're just going to add some oil into this. You can use any oil of your choice. We're just going to tell me what do you think? That's enough of the
canola oil.
So we're going to add the onions, and then we're going to let it cook until it's brown. We're going to add a little salt in it. And while the onions are sauteing in our little bit of canola oil in our pan, we are going to be adding to our tomato, onion, and red pepper mix our tomato paste. That's a concentrated form of tomatoes, very good. Tomatoes are always good for us. And I'm going to scoop this in to the mix just so we're not having to deal with it while we're on the hot stove. And all this in. Yeah, we can totally put all of it in, and it depends on how you like it, but it's very safe to use. So we are now going to cook our pepper mix. We're going to cook it in our pot, and we're going to cook our protein, our meat, which for today's show it's goat meat. Very, very flavorful. We're going to cook it in that, and I tell you, it's really, really yummy. Over to you, Chinwe. So now we're going to wait until our onion is brown, and then we can add this tomato mix. Yeah. So that's the tomatoes, the mix. Now it's going to cook.
Looking beautiful.
Okay, so now we've added the meat into this red pepper sauce that we blended. So what we have in this pot now are the goat meat, the onion after it was browned. Yeah, that's what we have, all of this. The tomato mix that we showed you earlier. So it's all good to go. We're going to let it sit and cook, and then so that all the sauce would actually, the meat would absorb the taste, and it will be so juicy and tasty.
It's all looking beautiful in the red, rich sauce.
Yes.
We're getting to the end of our complete recipe of Abula. And this portion is our, we call it jute leaves. We mentioned it earlier. And it's Molokhia leaves, and it is Ewedu in the Yoruba language, which is where this food is coming from. The Yoruba western part of Nigeria. It's an Oyo proper, Oyo indigenous Ibadan food. So all the people from Oyo state, and of course the jute leaves is used everywhere in Nigeria, and of course outside of Nigeria. However, it is an international. However, for this recipe, this is an indigenous Ibadan or Oyo recipe.
We'll give them a little bit,
yes.
A little tips about the Ewedu leaves. They are rich in anti-inflammatory properties.
Wonderful.
And you know what anti-inflammatory properties do for you? You have to watch my videos. Go watch my videos,
yes.
Because I have talked so much about anti-inflammatory properties. They help to eliminate sleep disorder. Actually, these jute leaves, some call it even mallow leaves. Yes. Some people call it mallow leaves. They speed up healing processes. That means they actually help you with blood clotting. They boost your immune system.
That's wonderful. And we all need that today.
They help in lowering blood pressure levels.
Wow.
Look at that. Mm-hmm. This, you know what the amino acids do for you? They have more than 11 amino acids in them. And they actually aid digestion and reduce cramping and bloating. They improve bone health and protect against osteoporosis.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that part.
Yes. It can actually prevent anemia. And think about that.
Wow.
We're not saying this cures coronavirus, but they actually boost your immune system. So this leaf is packed, fully loaded with all the vitamins and minerals that our body need. It is rich in vitamins A, vitamins E, and antioxidants.
Wonderful.
The antioxidants are wonderful properties that we need that go a long way for our bodies.
So I'm gonna cut our jute leaves. We already gave you the properties and all of the good stuff about it. It's a green leaf and we are making it easy. So we bought it frozen, but this is what the leaves look like if you ever find them fresh. You can find them fresh in some ethnic stores as well, some produce stores. So we are gonna put all of this frozen and chopped leaves into our pot. As usual, we want to get it all in there, and we're gonna be cooking this. We don't want to overcook it. Once you see it boil up for the first minute, it's ready to go.
Because you want it to stay green and you want all the properties to stay in.
So now we're gonna add a little bit of water to our jute leaves called Ewedu, so that the consistency is great. And we are going to again add our favorite locust beans. It's full of flavor. Some people don't like too much. You can add even a few to your taste. If you don't want to add any other seasoning other than the locust beans, that's perfect as well. Really up to you. Again, we have it looking very green, not overcooked. We're not going to overcook it because we want to preserve all of the good stuff in there. And as soon as it boils, we're ready to go.